unclean thing. This is the Word of God. And if you truly believe that this is the Word of God, and you believe that you're going to give an account for every move you make on this earth, and you think Jesus died to give you the chance to sit next to his Father for all of eternity, then why in the world would you pin your faith to people's coattail who lived the exact opposite kind of life, and who only used it to beat people down and weaponize it against people they didn't like or understand, or they just plain hated? Where did Jesus say hate your brother? Find that one for me. Where did Jesus say judge? Where did Jesus say push people away? Where did Jesus say to not let people into your circle? Where did he say that at? He didn't. But we have them out there telling on themselves now. This is the Word of God, and you
treat him like a man-child.
You traitorous trash. You traitorous trash. You traitorous. You traitorous. You traitorous.
You took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And you took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And you took an oath to uphold the...
You tolerate that woman named Jezebel.
You think you're helping Israel? You think you rule? You think you rule the? You think you rule the? You think you rule? You think you're helping Israel?
You think you're helping yourself to live in a lie? You think you're helping yourself with all the distrust, with all the racial strife that's happening? You think you're helping yourself to live in a lie? All the distrust, with all the racial strife that's happening?
You think you got friends, and none of them are your friends. Because a hypocrite can't have a friend, because a hypocrite is a friend to nobody. Because he's a liar. She's a liar.
You think you're more virtuous than you think you're more virtuous.
You think I'm Satan reincarnated?
You think about the Bible. You think about the Bible.
What do you think about it?
You talked about that in your opening statement, didn't you? You talked about that.
You take a look. You take a look. You take a look. You take a look at what was going on. You take a look at what was going on. You take a look at what was. You take a look.
And you take a look at what that looks like. And you take a look at what that looks like. You take a look at what that looks like. You take a look at what that looks like.
You swore an oath not to Trump, not to Hegseth, not to any man or any party, but to the Constitution of the United States, and you swore that you would defend it with your life. Well, here it is, under siege from within. This wasn't just a breach. This is a dress rehearsal for the complete collapse of the rule of law.
You stumble upon. You stumble upon. You stumble upon. You stumble upon.
You stiff-necked people. You stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people. God calls his people, his rebellious people, stiff-necked.
You sow. You sow.
You sniff his throat.
You've snatched this right out of my hands. You've taken my right.
When you shall know the nature of that fire. When you shall know the nature of that fire. I do not speak of things strange to me, nor do I aim at anything inconsistent with right reason. But having become a disciple of the apostles, I have become a teacher of the Gentiles. I minister the things delivered to me to those that are disciples worthy of the truth. For who, when you shall know the nature of that fire, when you shall know the nature of that fire, you shall know the nature of that fire.